Mr. President, I will vote to confirm Judge Kavanaugh.
That was the wind-up line to Susan Collins' long speech in the well of the Senate today. And here to talk about just what we have witnessed all day long, the Pulitzer Prize-winning author and presidential historian Jon Meacham. His latest book, appropriately titled The Soul of America, The Battle for Our Better Angels. There sure was a battle today. John, I was watching your live contemporaneous coverage when Collins stopped. You said on the air that you thought she moved this nominee to the center. She kind of made him a moderate on the fly. Explain.
If you look at the first opening section of the speech, she walks through issues at which she turned Judge Kavanaugh into a Susan Collins Republican, about Roe versus Wade, about gay rights, a whole host of issues, almost as though she were talking herself into the candidate she wanted to vote for. And the irony here, the tension, is the energy behind this appointment was that he is, in fact, a strong judicial conservative. He's not a judicial moderate. And in many ways, this nomination was the fruition, because it is the swing vote, of a judicial strategy that's been really born, I would argue, in the mid-1950s, when Republicans realized that they had not gotten what they really wanted from Eisenhower's appointment of Earl Warren. And so the cry for decades has been not to be fooled again. And then Nixon did, from 68 to 74. He appointed 4 justices, only one of whom turned out to be as conservative as the right had hoped. It was a Nixon appointee, in fact, who wrote the decision in Roe versus Wade. Then you cut to George Herbert Walker Bush, who appointed David Souter, and it was yet another example of why conservatives believed they had to have an absolutely pure conservative to put on the court. And what Senator Collins seemed to be doing is saying, you know what, ignore all that. He's not that conservative. He's actually a centrist, and that's who I'm going to vote for. The question for all of us now, because 40 years of American jurisprudence just got shaped today going forward, is which Kavanaugh is going to show up and be a Supreme Court justice? Is it the Collins one, or is it the Federalist Society one?
And this is a collection of human beings. It's a living, breathing body full of living, breathing bodies. Stranger things have happened than to have a John Roberts, the Chief Justice, move himself even more into the center. John Roberts has become the most important person in America to some extent. Roberts is now the swing vote. So the chief is now what Justice Kennedy was. And it'll be a fascinating drama to watch. The battle is over soon-to-be Justice Kavanaugh. The war goes on. And I think what's going to be fascinating to watch is to what extent is the Kavanaugh who shows up and goes to work at the Supreme Court, to what extent is that the Kavanaugh that Susan Collins was talking about? And to what extent is it the Kavanaugh who said what goes around comes around, and gave that defiant and quite partisan speech, so defiant and so partisan that he felt compelled to write an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal on the eve of the confirmation vote to clean it up.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.